Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the First Minister what the Scottish Government's response is to reports that several local authorities are delaying the introduction of the visitor levy.
First Minister.
Presiding Officer, the Visitor Levy Scotland Act 2024 gives councils the discretionary power to apply a local visitor levy if they think it is right for their area. If, after they have consulted local businesses, communities and tourism organisations, a local authority does not consider that timing or circumstances are right to introduce a levy, then it is entirely appropriate for them to make that decision. That is what the Highlands and Western Isles councils have done. They have assessed the appropriateness of introducing such a measure and decided not to proceed currently, while the City of Edinburgh and the City of Glasgow councils are proceeding with their proposals. That is local democracy in action.
Tim Eagle.
Presiding Officer, there is no political disaster like an SNP disaster. Not content with an Island Act that doesn't work, ferries that can barely get out the docks, the visitor levy is causing a crisis amongst already vulnerable rural businesses. You can mutter away, but it's true. Orkney, Shetland and Western Isles Council have all delayed the introduction of a visitor levy, with the latter saying...
Let's hear one another.
They don't want to hear it. With the latter saying it could risk its visitor economy, destroying tourism in Scotland. Meanwhile, South Ayrshire Council has abandoned its plans altogether. Over 750 small businesses in my region signed an open letter to the Deputy First Minister calling for changes to make the levy fairer. Has the First Minister reflected on the concerns from businesses, and will he at least agree today to the industry ask to move to a flat rate charge?
First Minister.
Presiding Officer, I've heard from the Conservative Party over many years the need to ensure that there is local decision-making capability in different parts of the country. And that's exactly what the Government and what Parliament has legislated for. We have legislated to enable local authorities to take a decision after consultation if they judge that to be right. Now, the Conservatives has got to decide what they believe in. Do they believe in local democracy or not? Every time they spend most of their time accusing us of centralisation. When we give local authorities the decision-making power, they complain about that as well. The Conservatives haven't got a clue what they're arguing for in this Parliament.
Brief supplementary, Alistair Allen.
The inclusion in the Government's recent consultation on a cruise ship levy included the option of a port of entry model, which has been welcomed by the tourist sector in the islands. So can the First Minister confirm that the Government will give consideration to the views that they expressed about this as a potential model for island areas?
First Minister.
So we've consulted widely on a proposed cruise ship levy, as we promised that we would do. The responses are currently being analysed, and all views will be considered as we make decisions on next steps in relation to this area of policy.